Harrod Domar growth model. So what is this model telling us? So the basic premise of this model is that every economy will have to save some portion of its national income. Why exactly it has to save? It has to save because it has to replace the worn out capital. That worn out capital, why is capital burning out? Because of its overuse, because of its use over the time and the natural wear and tear which happens. So it has to replace that worn out capital. So savings are going to provide those resources that you can use that in order to replace that capital. One, and the other thing is that to create new investments. Why are new investments needed? To have growth in the economy. This is going to add to the growth in the economy. There are certain assumptions of the model. One of the assumptions is that there is a direct relationship between the capital stock and the national output. So, for example, there is a $3 capital, and that capital, if it is producing $1 of the output, so we say that the capital output ratio is 3. Capital output ratio is 3, that how many units of capital are going to produce how much of output, right? So that is the capital output ratio. Net savings ratio, small s, is the fixed proportion of income. So that is also given to you exogenously. At equilibrium, investments are equal to total savings. This is capital I equal to capital S. This is small s. This is the net savings ratio. This is small c. This is capital output ratio, right? So how many units of capital are needed to produce a unit of output, right? So that is what the capital output ratio is. And this is assumed to be constant in the, we have to reach till small g equals to small s upon small c. So this is what we need to derive, right? So let us just start. So your net savings are given by capital S is equal to small s into y. That is, total savings are fixed proportion of the income. Investments are equal to the change in the capital stock, right? That is, investment equals the change in the capital stock. Capital output ratio, this is your small c. This guy is small c. So, and delta k by delta y, that is also equals to small c, right? And because savings are equal to investment, investment is equal to delta k. Delta k is equal to small c into delta y. So I can write this as capital S is equal to small c into delta y. But capital S is equal to small s into y, right? So what is this guy? Your delta y by y is equal to small s upon small c. Small s upon small c. So what is delta y by y? That is the growth rate in y. Growth rate in y. That is delta y by y. So I hope you know this delta y by y. What do you mean by this? New y minus old y upon old y. This is the growth rate in y, right? That is the reason we write it like this. Delta y by y is the growth rate in output. And that is equal to your savings rate upon the capital output ratio. So you have, from Harrod Domar model, you have this expression with you. Small g equals to small s upon small c. This is the growth rate. From here, we can write that growth rate is going to be higher in case if the savings rate is going to be higher. If the savings rate is going to be higher, it would mean that growth rate of economy is also going to be higher. If capital output ratio is lower, that means that capital is more efficiently used. Less capital is producing more output. So if capital output ratio is lower, that means capital is efficient. Capital is efficient. That also would imply your small g to be higher. Capital output ratio lower means what? You need less capital to produce a given output. We can write all this in terms of gross savings and depreciation also. So from gross savings, when you are going to deduct depreciation, what you're going to get is net savings. So I can write my capital output ratio as this: capital K by capital Y is equal to small c. So I can write y is equal to capital K by small c. So I can write delta y equals to 1 by c, which is a constant, delta k. Oh. So by definition, delta k is the net investment. Net investment means gross investment minus depreciation. Gross investment minus depreciation, right? And but when you write about depreciation, I don't want to write this as a depreciation rate. I mean, let me just write it this way: minus depreciation of capital. But that depreciation of capital means what? Delta into K. So there are K units of capital and they are depreciated at the rate of delta per unit. So the total depreciation is delta K minus delta K. But gross savings are equal to gross investment. Gross savings are equal to gross investment. Delta K equals to IG minus delta K. But in place of IG, I can write SG minus delta K. These are gross savings, right? And delta Y was delta K into 1 upon C, right? So I can write this as 1 upon C into SG minus delta K. Now what I can do is that I can divide both sides by Y. Divide both sides by Y. So what will you get? Delta Y by Y is equal to 1 upon C capital SG minus delta K by Y. This is what you will be getting. Capital SG minus delta K by Y, right? So capital SG is equal to small sg into Y. That is, gross savings are equal to gross savings rate into output. I can write like this. Okay. So what is capital SG upon Y? Small sg. One thing. Okay. Other thing. So I can write this way. Delta Y by Y is equal to 1 upon C this capital SG upon Y is small sg minus delta K by Y. ये है. Okay. How do we write this? Well, what I know is K is equal to C into Y. K upon Y is equal to small c. That is your capital output ratio, right? And so I can also write it like this. Delta K is equal to C delta Y, multiplying both sides by the depreciation rate. It doesn't change anything, right? I can divide both sides by Y. So what will I get? C delta Y by Y is going to be like this. That is delta C. Delta C. This is what you'll be getting. Delta K by Y is delta C. You with me? So you will have what? 1 upon C small sg minus delta K की जगह delta K upon Y की जगह delta C. So what will you have? Small sg upon C minus delta. This is delta Y by Y. This guy is delta Y by Y. You guys are with me? Right? So this is also one of the expression in which you can write. You can write in terms of gross savings rate and the depreciation rate. You can also write like that. So the efficiency of capital is given by 1 upon C. Is given by 1 upon C. So what do you mean by that? 1 upon C is your output capital ratio. Output capital ratio. So it reflects how efficiently capital is being used. C is your small c is capital output ratio. So 1 upon C is output capital ratio. So higher 1 upon C. Higher 1 upon C would mean you can produce more output from a given unit of capital or investment. More output from a given unit of capital. From a given unit of capital, right? So the point is that if the economies they want to grow, they will have to save and invest, right? And they have to use their investment more efficiently. They have to use their capital more efficiently. That is the point. So growth rate, this growth rate G, it is determined by the volume of investment right? It is determined by volume of investment through small s, and it is also determined by the productivity of investment. Of investment through 1 upon C. Through 1 upon C. So if the countries they want to grow, they will have to have more savings and they will have to use capital more efficiently, right? To grow, you can just write somewhere. To grow, countries must save and invest a share of national income and at the same time use investment more efficiently. More efficiently. You with me, guys? So this is what Harrod Domar model is, which is given in Todaro and Smith. And we will do the next part of the Harrod Domar model also. So let me just stop here. We'll take the discussion further in the next. Thank you, Beta.